All right. Uh, all right. Finally got started. Having a little problem with my Zoom situation, but other than that, everything else is going good. Now we back on point. Other than that, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Greetings, everyone. Hopefully, everybody's having a beautiful Shabbat, Sabbath day. Today is November 1st, 2025. This is November 1st, 2025, which is 11/1/2025. And today is the Assembly of the Righteous. The Assembly of the Righteous, when the righteous come together in the name of Yah, because the Creator ordained it, they put this day aside, hallowed it for his servants and those who worship him. The day is the Sabbath day, and this is the Assembly of the Righteous. And I'm your host, Mikael. They call the alkaline water guy, better known as the juice, also known as the alkaline water guy. We get ready to start with the prayer. Today's information, we're going to be going into 2 Samuel chapter 7 today. Today we're going to be going to 2 Samuel chapter 7. That's going to be the reading for today. At least starting off for part 1. And we're going to do part 1 and part 2. We may do 7 and 8 today. It all depends on the way the Spirit drives or guides us today. But other than that, we're going to start off with the prayer. And after the prayer, we go into the law, which is the commandments. Then after the commandments, we go into the understanding of why we have prophets. So, we'll start off with the prayer, starting with, Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help leading and guiding others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arm protection around us, help us in every way, guide us each and every way, that we may help each other in all the steps that we take, going and growing into your great light and into your spirit. We also ask you to forgive us of any sins that we have done in time past, today's time, and time to come, that we may or may not know about. We ask you to help us in every way, allow us to seek and do your will and help us understand your will and your way. We ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise your Almighty. Thank you, Father. All right. We're going to get into the law at this point in time. The law we will find in Exodus chapter 20, verse 1 through 17. And then we're going to get into the understanding of the reason we have prophets. So right now, we're going to start at Exodus chapter 20, verse 1. And the heading in my book is the 10 Commandments. 20 and 1 states, And Yah spake all these words, saying, verse 2, I am Yah thy father, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. First commandment, verse 3, Thou shalt have no other gods, deities before me. The second commandment, Thou shalt not make unto thee, unto yourself, any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. A lot of people don't understand that. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yah thy father, am a jealous father, visiting the iniquity of the fathers, which is the parents, upon the children unto the third, which is the Greeks, and the fourth, which is the Romans, generation, world power, of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Mercy is the grace that all you say that we are not under anymore, or that we're under now. Grace and mercy, right? Third commandment, thou shalt not take the name, which is the law, of Yah thy Father in vain. For Yah would not hold him guiltless that taketh, continue to take his law, which is his name, in vain. Fourth commandment, remember the Sabbath day to keep it hallowed, which is set aside. Greetings, Eric Cook. I'd like to see you, bro. Good to see you, bro. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yah thy Father. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yah made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yah blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Fifth commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which Yah thy Father giveth thee. Sixth commandment, thou shalt not murder. Says thou shalt not kill. You kill for a purpose, you murder without a cause. That's the way it should be read. Seventh commandment, thou shalt not commit adultery or adultery. Anytime a woman that belongs to a man, if you have opened yourself and given yourself to a man, I don't care how many women it is, if you have given yourself to a man, that is your husband. Any man who lay down with another man's woman or women, whoever they may be, that is adultery. Eighth commandment, thou shalt not steal. Ninth commandment, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. As I always say, attorneys, lawyers, and prosecutors commit this daily. They bear false witness because they weren't there at the crime or at the scene. They do it all the time. 10th and last commandment is, thou shalt not covet, which is want thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet, which is want thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. That is the commandment that the Creator spoke to the children of Israel in the wilderness. Now we're going to understand why we have prophets before we get into our information for today. Verse 18, the people's fear. This is the heading in my book. Verse 18, right after the 10 commandments. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. That's a key verse in what we're going to in Deuteronomy 18 in a few moments. But as we see in verse 18, it says, and as the thundering and lightnings was going on, which we all know that if it's thundering and lightning outside, we cut the lights and the television and everything else, say God speaking. Reason why is because this is what happened in the wilderness, and the people ran and moved afar off. And in verse 19, it says, and they said unto Moses, speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. 20th verse. And Moses said unto the people, fear not, for God is come to prove you. Prove all things. God has come to Yah has come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that you sin not. That ye sin not. Hold on, got a brother trying to come in. That ye sin not. 21st verse. And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where Yah was. So, now we're going to go from Exodus 20 G1, is that you, bro?
Alone resisting the white colonial power.
Yo, you can hear me?
Okay, now I can. Okay, good. Okay, I just want to make sure that was
It's
you.
not showing my. It's not showing my. What you call it? It's not showing my picture.
No, it just got your name.
I wonder why it's like that. I'm on my computer, so I logged in on my computer because I got to work at 1 o'clock. So I'll just log in. I was gonna keep you on my while I'm at work. I was gonna keep you on the
No
computer.
problem. No problem. I just
I
want
don't
to
know.
make sure it's you, bro.
I don't know why it's not showing though. Let me.
I
All
don't need it.
right.
I have to go in
Okay.
my information and check it out. But I'm gonna put you on mute because I'm finishing up on the commandments and the law.
All right.
All right. Now, as we were saying, there was Exodus chapter 21. No, it was Exodus chapter 20. And this is the understanding of why we have prophets now. So now we're going to go into Deuteronomy chapter 18, starting at verse 15, to understand why we have prophets. And that was just spoken of in chapter 20, verse 18 through 21. The people stood afar off because of the situation. Deuteronomy 18, verse 15 states, And Yah thy father will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of thy brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, ye shall listen to, you shall hear. 16. According to all that thou desirest of Yah thy father in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, this is what the people said. Let me not hear again the voice of Yah my father, neither let me see this great fire anymore, that I die not. Verse 17. And Yah said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And this is a prophet in this time. Whatever prophet that the Creator read, that's the reason why the old, quote unquote, what they call the Old Testament, is called the law and the prophets, right? Verse 19, Deuteronomy 18, verse 19. And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name. This is the key that everybody fail to realize. When the prophet come and they speak, thus said the Lord, that's the Creator speaking through that prophet. I will require it of him. Verse 20. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, or shall speak in the name of other gods. And when they speak in the name of other gods, that's when you're doing your prayer, and then you say in the name of whoever. You didn't just put another God right there with the Creator. There we go. You done put another God right there with the Creator. So anytime verse 20 again says, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods. And that other God, when you say when you pray to the Creator and say in the name of Jesus, in the name of Yeshua, in the name of Mohammed, in the name of whoever, you just broke that commandment, or shall I say, you just put another God right there with the Creator and broke the first three commandments. Even that prophet shall die. Verse 21. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which Yah have not spoken? Verse 22. Deuteronomy 18, verse 22 says, when a prophet speak in the name of Yah, that's the difference in his name. If the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yah has not spoken, but the prophet has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. That means that you ain't got to be afraid of whoever this person talking. This person just talking, whoever they may be. And you have a lot of people doing that today. A lot of people talking, oh, God said this. I prophesy this. I prophesy I do this. They don't even know what they're talking about. They don't realize they're putting themselves in harm's way, blaspheming the Father's name. Now, we're in 2 Samuel chapter 7. This is where we're starting today. We started in 1 Samuel. Each week, each Sabbath, we're going through the book. And now we're in 2 Samuel chapter 7. And today is called Yah's Covenant with David. This is the information of today. It's called Yah's Covenant with David. But we're going to start off with chapter 1. And it says David plans to build a temple. David plans to build a temple is what I have for my heading for the first 3 verses. And it states, David plans to build a temple. Chapter 7, verse 1. David plans to build a temple. And it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and Yah had given him rest round about from all his enemies. Y'all see that? He gave him rest round about from all his enemies. We just read last week. I like to always go back into a little bit. Last week when David went and got the ark, he went and got the ark. The brother Uzzah, he caught the ark when it was falling, but they were supposed to be carrying the ark because the ark had rings around. I shared that last week. The ark had rings around, had 4 rings on each side that staffs were supposed to go into, and they were supposed to carry it. But what happened was they had it on a cart, and one of the what was it? It was I think something it jerked. It was it's right over here. I'm trying to see exactly which one it was that something moved. It was an animal that moved, and then the ark started to fall. And Uzzah, Uzzah, caught it. And the Creator smote him. Now you find that in verse 6. Verse 6 says, and when they came to Nashon, the threshing floor, Uzziah put forth his hand to the ark of Yah and took hold of it, for the oxen, that it was, for the oxen shook it. The oxen shook it. And the anger of Yah was kindled against Uzzah, and Yah smote him there for his error. And there he died by the ark of Yah. And David was displeased. He was displeased. He was upset because, the man tried to help. But no one was supposed to touch the ark but the Levites. Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know. He was trying to do good. He tried to catch the ark. But you're not supposed, and then that's when David sent the ark off to Obed-Edom, the Gittites. And 3 months, and Yah blessed Obed-Edom, and all his household. Then David went and got the ark and brought it to where he was, and this is where he reproves Michal, which was his first wife, by Saul. So that happened last week. Now David is at home, and we're back at verse 1, chapter 7, verse 1. And it states, and it came to pass when the king sat in his house, and Yah had given him rest. When King David sat in the house, Yah gave him rest round about from all his enemies, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, see now, I dwell in a house of cedar, that the ark of Yah dwell within curtains. But the ark of Yah dwell within curtains. And Nathan said unto the king, go do all that's in thine heart, for Yah is with thee. Right? Do all that's in your heart, because the Creator is with you. He gave him rest round about. He didn't have to worry about nothing. And a lot of people don't realize that. You know what? This some people don't realize. A lot of time when the Creator is really doing well, or you're doing well with the Creator, he gives you rest. You don't have to worry about nothing. You're doing good. Everybody's doing good, Nothing's bad happening. And some people are like, well, what, is God this and that? Well, I wonder if God's still with me. You're doing good. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You're working, or you're prosperous. Everything is happening good for you. You don't have to worry about nothing. You start worrying when things bad start to happen. That's when you're supposed to start worrying. But when things good going for you, all you're supposed to do is thank you, Father. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Almighty. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Yah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're being appreciative of all the things, good things that He's doing for you. Just always have them in your heart. And ask questions about certain things that come. Well, should I do this? Father, should I do that? Inquire. Talk to the Father. Father, should I do this? Should I do that? Should we do this? Father, I see this coming this way. Should we do this? Should we do that? But when He give you rest round about, people should recognize, man, I'm doing good. And then this sometime is when the mind start playing tricks on you. And you be like, okay, man, I'm doing this and that. And that's, well, we ain't got to that yet, but I was just about to say Bathsheba. Not Bathsheba, but Uriah's wife. We haven't gotten to that yet. But, sometimes people forget when they doing so good, they think that they think they're immune to trouble. This is, and I'm just going to say this out of my mouth, that this is when your test comes. Be thankful for what you have and know that the Creator is with you when all is going well. When you're prospering, know that the Creator is with you. If you are in, that's why you're supposed to study His word too, because you could be prospering in wickedness. That's another thing. That's another thing. People prosper in wickedness and they think the Creator is working for them. If you don't, this is the reason why I tell people you got to know His word. Once you know His word, then you know you're either prospering in wickedness, which is going to be against you, or you're prospering in righteousness and He is with you. But a lot of people don't know the difference. A lot of them don't know the difference. And this is the reason why when I try to share, when I come with the book, I come with thus saith Yah, what the Creator said. Most people go by what man said in the New Testament. What they said could be substantial, could be all right. It may pertain to what's being said back here, but you got to know what the Creator said to know what He said. That's what I try to get people to understand, to know. And once you get into what the Creator said and know what the Creator said, according to when it said, thus said Yah, this and this is going to happen, thus said Yah, this and this is going to happen. This right here just gave you understanding. He gave at verse 1, 2, and 3, 2 Samuel 7, 1, 2, and 3. And it came to pass when Yah sat in his house, when the king sat in his house, and Yah had given him rest round about from all his enemies. Now he's over all Israel. That the king said unto Nathan, the prophet, see now, I dwell in a house of cedar, but the ark of Yah dwell within curtains. And Nathan said to the king, go do all that is in thine heart, for Yah is with thee. Yah probably knew what he was thinking. Yah knew what David was thinking. That's why I say, go do it all in your heart, because He's with you. Now Yah's covenant with David. Verse 4, starting at verse 4. And it came to pass that night that the word of Yah came to Nathan, saying, the word of Yah came to Nathan, saying, I just said, he probably already knew what he was thinking. Go and tell my servant David, thus saith Yah. You see that? That's in his name. This is the reason why I read this every Sabbath. You got to understand the Creator when He said, when the prophets speak in my name. When He say, thus saith Yah. Or here in the book it says, thus saith the Lord. But when the prophet speak in the name of the Creator, he's speaking directly what the Creator is saying. Go and tell my servant David, thus saith Yah, shalt thou build me a house? Shalt thou build me a house for me to dwell in? See, he already knew what David was thinking. He was already thinking it. You see, David never said it, and I say he probably knew what David was thinking. And that's when Nathan said, go do all that's in thy heart, for Yah is with thee. Then he says, "Go and tell my servant David, thus saith Yah, shalt thou build me a house for thou shalt build me a house for me to dwell in?" 6. Whereas I have not dwelt in any house since the time that I brought up the children of Israel out of Egypt. See that? Even to this day, but have walked in a tent and in a tabernacle. That was Father always spoke on. That's why we had the Feast of Tabernacles. 7. In all the places where I have dwelt, I have walked with all the children of Israel. You see that? This is the reason why the Creator know Israel. Creator didn't walk with no other nations. And people fail to realize this. In the place where I have walked with all the children of Israel. And how did he walk? His finger upon the tablets of stone inside the ark. Spec I, in all the places where I have walked with all the children of Israel, spec I a word with any of the tribes of Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, whom I commanded to feed my people Israel, saying, why build ye not me a house of cedar? He never said it. Why build ye me not a house of cedar? See this? This is how you get to the beginning of the reason why a lot of situations are happening. Verse 8. Now, therefore, so shalt thou say unto my servant David, thus saith Yah. This is how you know the Creator is speaking. This is what people don't realize. I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people. This is what he's talking to David. What he did to him. I took thee from the sheepcote, from following the sheep, to be ruler over my people, over Israel. To be ruler over my people. Whose people? You see that? You see that? Who he say his people is? His people is Israel. Now, where do we see in the book that he said that any other nation was his people? Now, he's speaking to Nathan, which is the prophet. And I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight. This happened to us as a people at one time. Now we're under the enemies because he said that if we didn't keep his law, what he was going to do. This is why we've been going through the hell we've been going through. But a lot of people want to put us with, well, we like them. We all one family. This is the Creator talking. Number 9, again, I was with thee whatsoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thine enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Oh, that's my part coming up. Oh, this is my favorite coming up. This, yeah, buddy. This is my part right here, y'all. I love this right here coming up. That was the end of 9, but I'm gonna come back to this. This is my part. And this, I'm gonna read it first, and then I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna break it down for you. This is the covenant. Chapter 7, again, verse 9. And I was with thee whithersoever thou wentest, and have cut off all thine enemies and out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Right? 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel. I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them, that they may dwell in a place. You see that? He just showed you a place. That place was where? Jerusalem. Right here, he's letting it be known because everybody know about Jerusalem, right? But right here, he's letting it be known what's about to happen, what's for the future. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel. Now, I'm sorry, I'm getting it. This is beautiful. This right here, 2 Samuel chapter 7, is the key for understanding our past and our future. Again, 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own and move no more. See that? Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more as before times. You see that? He's going to plant them in the place. 11. And as since the time that I commanded judges, remember the book of Judges, to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies. Remember through the book of Judges, you had some people come up, afflict Israel, the Creator sent a Savior to help them. It came to a point where Israel would fall away because they were doing good and they was in their own mind doing whatever they want to do. The Creator sent certain people against them to straighten up. The book of Judges, right? 11 again. And as since the time that I commanded judges to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, also Yah telleth thee that he will make thee a house. He will make thee a house. The Father said he going to make the house. 12. And when thy days be fulfilled, this is David. He's telling Nathan to go tell this to David. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee. Everybody, now let me share something with this. Let me take this down. Let me take this on down to 17. Then I'm gonna come back because I gotta break this down. This is the reason why I like going over this, because I talk about today's time, where we at, according to what the scriptures are saying. And a lot of people have no understanding. And when thy days, verse 12, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. You see that? People fail to realize this point here, but I'm coming back to all this. I'm gonna read all this first. And I will establish his kingdom. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Y'all know who they talking about today, but that ain't who he talking about. This is the problem we have. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men. You see that? And with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, who I put away before thee. And thine house and thine kingdom shall be established forever before thee. See that? David's kingdoms and his house. What they mean by his house? It doesn't mean the house that's built. Him and his seed of Judah. If you go to Genesis chapter 49, verse 8 through 12, you'll understand this is talking about Judah, which was given through Jacob, who is Israel. Verse 16, and thine house and thine kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever. That's why he always talk about the throne of David. The throne of David. The throne of David. 17. According to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. Now, let's go back and break this down for people who may not have an understanding. Starting at 10. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own. Even though they got Jerusalem and the kingdom of Canaan right now. Remember when the children of Judah made David king first, and then all Israel made him king after Abner said, well, you thought to make David king as before times, well, do it. Abner said that. So now he established, that was before Joel and his brother Joab and his brother killed Abner, because Abner killed his brother because his brother was hard-headed and he didn't want to listen, and he got killed. But they murdered Abner in the place of, not in the place, while he was doing this situation with David, getting everything together. I shared that within the last couple of weeks. And it says, will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move there and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore as before time, as before. Not saying children of wickedness ain't gonna do that in the future, because he's gonna tell you what's gonna happen in the future, but as before time ain't not gonna happen no more, because you're gonna be established in your own land. Before, when they was established in the land, people kept coming in the book of Judges. They kept coming and messing with them. No different than the Philistines kept coming. Remember? The Philistines kept, matter of fact, they just had a problem with the Philistines after Saul. Then David went and took care of them, and then David inquired of the Creator. I think that was last week. He inquired Creator twice. Shall we go up and fight the Philistines? Said go. The second time David inquired of the Philistines, should he go up? He said no. Go around and come up behind them. And when you hear the mulberry tree, when you hear the wind in the mulberry trees, straighten yourself up and go and attack them. He inquired of the Creator, though. See, this is how you understand getting close to the Creator and understand them. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them anymore, as before time. Verse 11. And as since the time that I commanded judges, as I shared a few minutes ago, to be over my people Israel, and have caused thee to rest from all thine enemies, as Yah telleth thee that he will make thee a house. As Yah also Yah telleth thee that he will make thee a house. He gonna make him a house. Verse 12 is your key. And when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee. Guess who that seed is? Solomon. Solomon was that seed. A lot of people try to say, well, when he got old, he already wives and this and that was being said. I will set up thy seed after thee, thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. Solomon came out of his bowels. Solomon was the one who was ruling in power. All nations was coming to him. Out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom, which the Creator did through David. He established the kingdom of Solomon, and people from all over the earth was coming to see Solomon. 13. He shall build a house for my name. You see that? He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now, you know what people take this? And they say it's Jesus. This is what you've been taught. They teach you and told you, this is Jesus. Jesus was the son of David. Jesus this and that and this and that. Who gave you that? Who gave you that? Council of Nicaea. They went through and they modified the story. I was telling this brother the same thing just last night. They modified the story. And I've been telling people for the longest, the story was modified. They took a man's name. And my boy's Cass coming in. They took a man's name. What should I say? They took the man's story. They took up the man's story, which was Yahshua, who came. They took his story, They modified, greetings, Cass, glad you can make it, bro. They took his story, they modified Yeshua's story to Jesus. What happened was when the Council of Nicaea, when Constantine put together the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, he put together, they put together the story, but they had adversaries. These bishops had adversaries called the Arians. Arians were saying that no, he was just a prophet, no different than any other man. But the bishops and the bishops and the Romans, they was modifying the story, saying no, he was more than a man. He was a God. He was the Son of God. He was God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost. And what happened? For 56 years, this is the deadly wound you'll find in Revelation 13. The deadly wound that was healed. For 56 years, they was going at it. The bishops and the Arians. They was going at it for 56 years. You'll find this in history if you look. 56 years, they was fighting. I'm saying they're fighting. This is the deadly wound, which was the adversary, was healed because they got rid of the deadly wound. They got rid of the Arians and the bishops grew. And this is where the blasphemy and the modifying of the story. The blasphemy of the Creator's word and the modifying of the story of the prophet that came. They modified the story and made him a God. But if you look at it like this, like I was trying to tell this brother last night, that's their story. Whose story? That's the story that the Romans took and modified from the man that came and did what he did. They modified the story and got the world to fight. And in Revelation 13, it tells you everybody followed the beast. Everybody on the earth followed the beast, that whose names wasn't written in the book of life or the book of the Lamb. The Lamb is the anointing spirit, but that's a whole nother subject we getting off into there, because that's down the line as well. But the point I'm getting at is that the fact is that the story was modified, and right here, people take this and run with it. They don't look at what's being said. They take it and run with it because of where they at. But right here, again, it says right here in verse 12, 2 Samuel, verse 12, and when thy days, talking about David, be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, which was Solomon, and I will establish his kingdom, which he did. People can't see it today because they don't see much about Solomon in the book. They see some things and some things he said and some things he went through, but they don't see the story of Solomon. The Creator gave Solomon a ring to deal with, and this in I think it's in the Songs of Solomon, I believe it is. There's 3 different volumes of it, I believe. I still need to go through. I read some of it, but I haven't went through all of it. But these is more of understanding his kingdom. I'm going to go on a little bit further than that because I don't even want to get off into Solomon right now. But just giving you the understanding, this is how Solomon's kingdom was set up and established through David. And the Creator said it, and it happened right then and there. But the world is believing in Jesus. And some has changed the name from Jesus to the prophet that came, but that prophet was no different than all the rest of the other prophets. So, verse 13. He shall build a house for my name, which he did, and he gave a prayer in it as well. Solomon did that. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Why? Because it's from through the house that he built. It's David. David's name is the one who is established, but we still talk about Solomon today, don't we? That's how it's established. People don't talk about Saul. They recognize Saul because he was the first king, but they don't talk about Saul the way David is talked about. They don't talk about Solomon the way they don't talk about Saul or mainly Saul the way they talk about David or Solomon. And another way to keep Solomon's name in everybody's mouth is that he had the most wives that anybody can think of. People will always remember that. People remember the good, they remember the bad. So no matter what, the fact that he had 1,000 wives, 700 wives and 300 concubines, all of them is still his wife. What makes him his wife? Because he went into them. But some of them was given to him from their fathers, from other kingdoms. This is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't have an understanding of the reason why all them wives he had. A lot of people have no understanding. A lot of things that's going on, people just read and they look at it for face value and they run with it. Instead of sitting back and let me understand the reason why this happened, why that's going on, and why this and why that. He shall build a house for my name, verse 13, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son, which he was. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. Whatever happened, we don't know the story.
Very upset.
Well, it's got to accept, it should be about yeah.
Can you put yourself on mute, Cass, please? Kind of went. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Uh-oh. Yeah. Hold on. There we go. There we go.
Good day, good day, good day, good day.
Okay. Okay, we back. Sorry about that, y'all. Make sure everything is good. Okay, good. Good. Okay. I had a little hiccup on my computer. I think I paused something. Just trying to make sure everything is good. But back to the story.
No, why? Sorry.
Thank you. Okay, back to the story. He shall build a house for my name, and I will. And just Cass, if you didn't know, we're at 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 13 at the moment. I'm breaking down information, giving understanding to what Yah's covenant with David. And verse 13, where he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. And that was Solomon. Verse 14, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, which his mercy never did depart from Solomon. My mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away from before thee. That means we know that even though Saul was still king, the kingdom was stripped away from Saul. It wasn't stripped away from Solomon, even though he had those 1,000 wives, even though the stuff that he did. Where can anybody find and tell me where the Creator stripped the kingdom from Solomon? Where can anybody find and tell me where the Creator stripped the kingdom from Solomon? And this is what people don't understand. So people get in their own minds, and say what they think, and they don't even know what the Creator, they don't know the Creator's word. They go by what they think. Oh, he had all these wives. He was worshiping these other deities that these women was having him to worship when he got old and this and that. So the Creator said that he didn't take his mercy from him. Do y'all remember what was said over here? I like to give facts. What was said over here in Exodus 33? Let me give it to you real quick. I like to show facts when I'm speaking. I'm sorry. 20. 123, it was 24. Hold on, let me get it for you real quick. Exodus 20, I think it was 20, it's 23. 24 is the blood. I think it was 30. 30, well, I was right, 33. Yep, 32, I was right. Right here, verse 16. Let me break this down for you real quick. What did the Creator say over here in chapter Exodus 33, 16? The key is down here in verse 19, but I'm starting at 16. He said, for wherein shall it be known that I and thy people have found grace in thy sight? This is Moses talking to the Creator. Is it not in that thou goest with us? Is it not that thou goest with us? So shall we be separated, I and thy people, from all the people that are upon the face of the earth. I keep trying to tell people that we're not as other people, but people want to put us in the place of everybody else. 17. And Yah said unto Moses, this is the Creator speaking, I will do this thing also that thou hast spoken, for thou hast found grace in my sight, and I know thee by name. He talking about Moses. And see, say know Moses by name. It's not about I know you by your name, Moses. It's by his actions and his deeds that he know Moses. I know thee by name because of your actions and the deeds that you're doing. 18. And he said, I beseech thee, show me thy glory. That's what Moses said to the Creator. 19 is the key while I'm here. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yah before thee, and will, this is your key, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. So people are too busy trying to say, well, he took his mercy from Solomon. He took his mercy from, no, he didn't. Who said that? He said he took his mercy from Solomon? I just read when he said that he ain't going to take his mercy away from him. He went against the law. He worshiped all this. He had 1,000 wives. People talk too much. They don't know what they be talking about. They speak for stuff that they feel in their mind. And that's the problem we have today. People do a lot of talking and they don't do no investigating. They don't try to find out what's being said. They don't try to find out what's going on. They too busy talking, putting themselves in a ditch. Talking too much. 19, one more time. And Exodus 33, 19, one more time. And he said, I will make all my goodness pass before thee, and I will proclaim the name of Yah before thee, and will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and will show mercy on whom I will show mercy. Verse 20. And he said, thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. No man can see the Creator's face. So everybody said, I saw the Creator face to face. He saw an ambassador of the Creator. Nobody can see the Creator's face. He saw an ambassador of the Creator. When they say they didn't see these angels, they seen this, that's someone coming in the Creator's name. No different than an ambassador of the president going to another state or another country, and he's speaking in the name of the president. That ain't the president. It's someone coming in the name of the president, in the president's honor. A lot of people don't even have no understanding. That's the problem we have today. As my old teachers used to say, people need teaching bad. But I just want to hit the 20. And he said, thou canst not see my face, for there shall no man see me and live. I'll take it on down to 23 since that's the end. And Yah said behold, there is a place by me, and thou shalt stand upon a rock. 22. And it shall come to pass, while my glory passes by, that I will put thee in a cliff of the rock, and will cover thee with my hand while I pass by. 23. And I will take away my hand, and thou shalt see my back parts, but my face shall not be seen. Now he said that to Moses. He said no man should see his face and live. But how many people out here go, oh, this person seen God. This person seen God. Ain't nobody seen God. Ain't nobody can see the Creator. Nobody can see the Creator. So when they say that, they have been I'm an ambassador of the Creator because I'm bringing you his word according to what he has done and according to what he has anointed me to know. And I don't brag about it. I come to know what I know. That's just it. I'm thankful to be a part and one of the creators' ambassadors to share information as he give it to me. And to break it down what people can see. Because the world is in idolatry right now. They take this little, they'll read this, oh, this is Yeshua. This is Jesus. This is Emmanuel. That's what we're talking about right there. But this is where the world has been manipulated by the Romans. All through here, he tell you who his people is. Oh, we all are one family. But why we get treated the way we get treated? Why they hanging out people that have been hanging out people for years and years and all this stuff? Why we been treated this way? Why the cops do us the way the cops do? When I say us, I'm talking about our people. Why are we the one who get treated the way we get, but we like everybody else? Oh, we all are one people, but we getting treated the worst. Why when you go to the jails, they got everybody presented as white, but they got black on the melanated people. If you don't know, I was a correctional officer. I'm telling you what I know. I was a correctional officer in Mississippi for a year. So I'm telling you what I know. I don't talk about what I don't know, and I don't talk about what I believe. I'll tell you what I know. They label all the melanated people black. The Caucasians, the Mexicans, Indians, whoever else there, they have white on their tags. Why is that? But you know, we have people in denial. We have people who still want to believe in the way of the world. But you know something? When the world falls, you're going right along with it. The Father sends messengers to give you the truth, and I'm one of them. I got something coming Monday. And I'm gonna tell you what the name of on Mikael's Not the Truth. It's already in my mind what I want to call. I don't know how I'm gonna bring it, but it's already in my mind. And last Mikael's Not the Truth, I did what I called it the crooked roads made straight, or the crooked places made straight. This one I'm saying Isaiah 4:1 coming soon. That's what I'm calling it. Isaiah 4:1 coming soon. That's what I'm gonna call it. That's what I'm gonna name it. And how I bring it, I don't know how it's coming because I'm gonna let the creator bring it through. But I'm already calling it. I already know what it is. It's coming soon. And we see it closer and closer day by day. Isaiah 4:1 is coming and is on its way, whether people accept it or not. But let's get back to the scripture. Now we're back over here in 2 Samuel chapter 7, and I'm going to finish up at 15. I'm at 15. But my mercy shall not depart away from him. Like I said, he didn't take his mercy from Solomon. No matter what people say, nobody showed me where he took his mercy from. As I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. 16. And thine house and thine kingdom shall be established forever before thee. David King is still spoken of today. David kingdom is still spoken of through his seed today. And how do you find that out? I mean, understand this. What was prophesied in Genesis 49? Right here. Thank you, Father. Came right to it. 49 and 10, I'm taking from 8 to 10. It goes to 12, but I'm taking from 8 to 10. Genesis 49 verse 8 says, Judah, thou art he whom thine brethren shall praise. Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children, all the other children, shall bow down before thee. And it doesn't mean physically, they're bowing today. Everybody talks about Judah today. Right now, they put the name Jew in their mouth, and those people, the Jews, ain't the real people. It's us. We're the Israelites. And it's Judah, not Jew or Jewish. 9. Judah is a lion's whelp from the prey, my son. Thou art going up. He stoopeth down, he crouches as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? 10 is our key. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. That's your key right there. The scepter. What is a scepter? A scepter is something that the king holds. A king knights his subjects. A king, you are dubbed. However they do it. The scepter. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. That means that the seed of Judah is the lawgiver. Which comes supposed to teach the law, right? Levitical priesthood, they taught the law. It was given to them to give to the world. But right now, where's the Levites at? A lot of them are waking up. But right now, we don't know if in this day and time, this man talking about Judah, and then it's talking about the full tribe of Israel itself. It's going to be a kingdom of priests. The full tribe. Because who we going to be a kingdom of priests to? The world. All nations, tongues, people, and nationality is going to be under the tutelage, the knowledge of Israel. Judah and Israel. Judah is Melchizedek. Judah is Melchizedek. Israel going to be more like the Levites, which is the priesthood. But the high priest is going to be Judah. A lot of people say, well, Jesus, he's the Melchizedek. Jesus, no, he ain't. That's what they got you thinking. What does it say right here? In the prophecy of Judah. Again, verse 10. Genesis 49:10 says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet. Then it says, until Shiloh come, and Shiloh to me is the Holy Anointing Spirit, that comes upon us, that it speaks of in Jeremiah 31, verse 33 and 34. But I like to always say, because it's the confirmation in it. Jeremiah 31, verse 31 through 37. But you keep verses 33 and 34. And also Ezekiel chapter 36 from verse 18 or 16 or 18 until the end. That gives you the facts right there. Shiloh is the Holy Spirit that's going to be upon man that they call the Lamb. Understanding will keep thee. But, as it says again, verse 10, Genesis 49:10 says, the scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. That's what's going on today. Shiloh is the anointed spirit upon Israel, really, upon Judah and Israel, and the gathering of the nations is coming under the tutelage of us, getting them straight and understanding the law, the covenant of the Father. But there are going to be many that fall off. Why? Because they choose not to listen. They choose to stay and live in idolatry. But let's keep it moving. His kingdom shall be established forever. 17, according to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. Nathan went and shared it with David, let him know what's going on. Verse 18, then went King David in and sat before Yah, and he said, who am I, O Yah, and what is my house, that thou hast brought me hitherto? 19, and this was yet a small thing in thy sight, O Yah, but thou hast spoken also of thy servant's house for a great while to come. And is this the manner of man, O Yah? 20, and what can David say more unto thee? For thou, Yah, knoweth thy servant. You know it's thy servant. You know me. 21, for thy word's sake, and according to thine own heart, hast thou done all these great things, to make thy servant know them. You've done all these great things to make me know this. Wherefore thou art great, O Yah, for there is none like thee, neither is there any Yah besides thee, according to all that we have heard with our ears. Everything we heard. 23. And what one nation in the earth is like thy people? What other nation? What one nation is like us? Even like Israel, whom Yah went to redeem for a people to himself, and to make him a name, and to do for you great things and terrible. For thy land before thy people, which thou redeemest to thee from Egypt, from the nations and their gods and their deities. You got to understand what's being said. Verse 24, for thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel to be a people unto thee forever. Israel. Israel is not like any other people on the earth. We're the most humble, we're the most loving people. A lot of us has changed our mindset to the way of the system. But those who love the Father and those who have the Father Spirit in them ain't like, or is not like the rest of the world. We're not like the rest of the world. We try to help, and a lot of us go against each other, trying to be like everybody else, because we're ignorant to who we are. Excuse me. 25 again. And now, forever, and thou, Yah, become their own. Let me hit 24 one more time. For thou hast confirmed to thyself thy people Israel to be a people unto thee forever, and thou, Yah, art become their Yah, have become their father. 25. And now, O Yah, the word that thou hast spoken concerning thy servant and concerning his house, establish it forever, and do as thou hast said. And let thy name be magnified forever, saying, Yah of hosts is the Yah over Israel, and let the house of thy servant David be established before thee. David, first established king. 27. For thou, O Yah of hosts, Yah of Israel, has revealed to thy servant, saying, I will build thee a house. Therefore have thy servant found in his heart to pray this prayer unto thee. This was a prayer of David. This is a prayer, even though he spoke it, this is a prayer that he was speaking. And now, O Yah, thou art that Father, that Yah, and thy words be true, and thou hast promised this goodness unto thy servant. 29 and last verse. Therefore, now let it please thee to bless the house of thy servant, that it may continue forever before thee. For thou, O Yah, hast spoken it, and with thy blessing let the house of thy servant be blessed forever. And this is the blessing of David through the Father. Not only the blessing of David, it's the blessing of Israel. David gave a prayer, the Father gave a covenant. That covenant was from 4 to 17. Then David came and made a prayer from 18 to 29. Yah's covenant, and David's prayer. Yep. Yah's covenant and David's prayer. I'm making that known right here at 2 Samuel chapter 7. This is beautiful. And to understand it, to see it, you can see it clear as day. For those who have understanding, the world has gotten in the minds of the people to make the people think other than what it really is. People have fallen so far from the Creator, they don't even believe in what's being said. Why? Because they didn't go through it to find out. They believe in what people tell them about what the Bible say. This Bible is talking about us. White man wrote the Bible. The white man did this. The white man did. Y'all don't even know half the understanding of who y'all call the white man, because the Creator said that all these things going to happen. Like I told this group of people last week when they said, "Well, who wrote the Bible?" This woman sitting in a chair. Well, you know how you know what's in there. I said the Creator has given His information to His anointed, and those who have been anointed to Him, He talked through them to give the information. If He talked through His anointed to give the information, oh, that was written by man. Y'all have no understanding. The Creator gave the information to man, His anointed, His chosen, and or His prophets to give the information to put it down. And when they put it down, it's been written. Oh, it's been changed. I said, I don't care how many times it's been changed. It's there for you to know what you need to know in this time. There's been books taken away. Whatever's been taken away doesn't exclude what's there for you to know. Whatever been taken away may not have been as important for what's right there for the main book that's been written worldwide. I don't care who said what about it. What's in there is the key. And this is the problem we have today. People too busy doing what? They're judging. You got 3 point back, but you're pointing the finger, judging. You're judging about stuff you don't even know. The key is to inquire, like David did. David always inquired. And as he inquired, he got answers. But how many people do that? How many people actually look for answers? It's sad. Yep, it's sad. But it is what it is. Oh, this is David. What's up, baby? All this right here, boy. This is beautiful. I'm telling you, I hadn't went through the whole thing in a long time. I hadn't went through the whole chapter 7, but this is my favorite, though. It's my favorite point. This actually shows and tells who the Creator was speaking to, who he's speaking about. It showed that he was talking about Solomon that was going to build a house. It talks about all that. But if people don't know and don't understand, you're going by your own thoughts. I give you facts by what I show you according to Scripture. What thus said the Lord, what the Creator said, how things have been set up. And all through the Scriptures and through the prophets, it shows you what's being set up. But people want to go with their own mind. You can do that. That's on you. Other than that, before we go to part 2, I just like to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwelled, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. So I just wanted to share that with you and let you understand that 2 Samuel chapter 7, you got to get better understanding on what's being said and stop going in what's going on in your own head of what you're being taught. So other than that, we getting ready to pause Zoom because this is the full version of all the different information. So we're going to pause Zoom and then we're going to make part. Thank you, baby. Thank you, sweetie. Mm-hmm. Soursop, y'all. We're about to go into part 2 in a few moments. But other than that, we're going to pause. And G1 and my brother Kaz, y'all can hold on for a minute. We'll be right back. Peace. All right. Shalom, Shabbat shalom. What's going on, family, friends, and the world? We're back. This is Assembly of the Righteous. Today we started at noon, around the noonday, and today is November 1st, 2025. And this is 11/1/2025. And this is the Assembly of the Righteous. This is the Assembly of the Righteous. This is where the righteous come together on the day that the Creator called, which is on the Sabbath day, the 7th day of the week. We come together, we hold the day, and we come in His name to do His will. So other than that, like I say, greetings to everyone. Hopefully everybody's having a great day at this point in time. We just got out of 2 Samuel chapter 7, which this whole day, we're calling this Yah's covenant with David. It was Yah. We have Yah's covenant with David, but we just had Yah. I called it Yah's covenant and David's prayer in 2 Samuel 7. In 2 Samuel chapter 7, it was Yah's covenant. Yah made a covenant with David, showing, and as I was sharing, just so I can give you a small detail before we go into chapter 8, because we just did chapter 7, and this is where the Creator made a covenant to David that I'm just going to read 12 to 15 at the moment. 12 to 16. I'm just going to read that. I'm not going to break it down. Y'all can go and check it out, but I will give you a little details while I'm reading it. So in 2 Samuel chapter 7, it stated, starting at verse 12, and when thy days, talking about David, this starts the covenant, or this is the Creator had Nathan, which was the prophet, to go and talk to David in verse 4. His covenant was starting in verse 4 all the way to verse 17. But what we're going to do, we're going to go from 12 to 16 real quick. And after that, David made a prayer. He went and he went down and talked to the Creator. He went down and bowed before the ark and talked to the Creator, which was his prayer to the Creator by talking to him. And verse 12 says, though, in 2 Samuel chapter 7, verse 12, it says, and when thy days be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy father, this is the Creator talking through Nathan, talking to David. I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels. And this seed was Solomon. This was Solomon. And I will establish his kingdom, which was the kingdom of Solomon, over both realms, Judah and Israel. He shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom. This is when Solomon was established throughout the world. All people over the earth came to see Solomon. You don't get all that in the Bible, but if you look through the Songs of Solomon and other situations, you'll see how great Solomon really was. The people that didn't want you to know about Solomon in his fullness, you don't see it all in here. But as I shared, you find out information from the good and the bad. People like to remember the bad more than they remember the good. So you'll see the good of Solomon here, but people talk about the 1,000 wives that he had. People talk about the different idols that he worshiped. But you got that he was worshiping through his wives that was given to him through these other nations. How you think he got all them different wives anyway? But 14. I will be his father. See, the Creator said, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men, and with the stripes of the children of men. 15. But this is the key, and I shared this in part 1 in Exodus chapter 33. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. And like I said, if anybody can go in and show me where the Creator told anybody that I'm taking the kingdom from Saul. No, I'm sorry, not Saul. Like, I'm glad I said that, because a lot of time I speak from Solomon. Can anybody show me where the Creator took the kingdom from Solomon? Anybody? I want you to show me the scripture and show me where the Creator said he took it from Solomon. And if he did, he went against his word in verse 15 right here. But my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. 16 and last verse, no, 16 and 17. Yeah, 16 and 17. And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. And I shared that in Genesis chapter 49, verse 8 through 12. The key verse is 10. Genesis 49, 8 through 12. The key verse is 10. Because David is of the seed of Judah. But shall be established before thee forever. Thy throne shall be established forever. 17 and last verse for the moment, before we go into chapter 8. According to all these words and according to all this vision, so did Nathan speak unto David. That was the end of what the Creator spoke to Nathan, spoke to the prophet to speak to David. I keep trying to get people to understand the Creator spoke through his prophets and through his servants to do a certain will or work. So those people are ambassadors for the Creator. Now we're going to chapter 8. Y'all can read the whole thing and check it out, or y'all can go to chapter 1 and check it out to part 1 and check it out as well. But now we get ready to start in chapter 8. This is David extends his kingdom. Now, chapter 8, 2 Samuel chapter 8, verse 1 states, David extends his kingdom. And after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. And David took Methgama, out of the hand of the Philistines. Took him out of the hand of the Philistines, and he smote Moab. Who was Moab? The Moabites, the Moors today. And he smote Moab. You know, I gotta get this name underlined. See who this guy is. Don't know when his name will come up again, but right here, yeah, the first verse again. 2 Samuel chapter 8. Again, verse 1. And after this, it came to pass that David smote the Philistines and subdued them. And David took Methgama out of the hand of the Philistines. Verse 2. And he smote Moab. He smote Moab, which is the Moabites, which is the Moors today, and measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground. Measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground. Even with 2 lines measured he to put to death. Even with 2 lines measured he to put to death, and with 1/4 line to keep alive. And so the Moabites, see that? Moab, who are the Moabites? Became David's servant. You see that? Became David's servants and brought gifts. Ooh, boy, we about to get into some information right here. David extends his kingdom. And this is what I try to get people to understand. That's how the earth was extended. When the Creator kicked us out and kicked us all over the earth, our kingdom was extended then. We didn't realize, and this is something that came to me. Nobody taught me this. By me studying and understanding that we're going to be a kingdom of priests, the Creator has already established the earth to be under us, and we're supposed to be over the whole earth. Israel is the only nation who is established over the whole earth. We're the only ones who is born everywhere, and we're in all nations. Wherever you were born, you have a birthright there. Wherever you were born, you have not lineage, you have a birthright, and you have what do they call it? Not only birthright, you have a great substance there. You have great substance where you were born at. A lot of people don't know this information. See, this stuff is coming out, and it's getting a better understanding as we grow in this day and time. Wherever your home is, wherever you were born, you have a birthright, and you have great substance in that area. But you have to claim it first. You have to get in your executive office in order to claim it, and then understand it once you get there. So again, I want to get, and he smote Moab and measured them with a line. So he measured them with a line, casting them down to the ground. Even with 2 lines measured he to put to death, and with 1/4 line to keep alive. So like so many people he put to death, 1 he put alive. Man, that's something. And so the Moabites became David's servants and brought gifts. 3. And say, David smote also the had a desire, smote also had a desire, whoever that may be, the son of Rehob, Rehob, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. He smote him as he went to recover his border at the river of, oh, okay, he went to recover his border at the river of Euphrates. Remember the creator gave that to let me get it for you. I like to show facts. Genesis chapter 15. Genesis 15. You got to show facts because I don't like talking stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about, and people don't think I know what I'm talking about. What did the creator tell right over here? Yes, ma'am. Which one you want? You're welcome. Right over here, the Lord's covenant with Abraham. In the same day, this is verse 18. In the same day, Yah made a covenant. This is Genesis 15:18. In the same day, Yah made a covenant with Abram, saying unto thy seed, have I given this land from the river of Egypt unto the great river of the Euphrates. You see that? That's how come I know I be talking about. In the same day, Yah made a covenant with Abram, saying, unto thy seed have I given this land. From the river of Egypt, unto the great river of the river Euphrates. The Kenites and the Kenzanites, the Cadmonites, verse 20. The Hittites and the Perizzites, the Repham, Repham, didn't we just read that? Let's read home. The Repham and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Gerasites and the Jebusites. Now, Jebusites was in the area where Jerusalem, and Judah was. I've seen that several times in the scriptures. Let's keep it moving though. Now he said, and as he went to recover his border at the river of Euphrates. That's why I went and read that in chapter 15, verse 18. Verse 4. And David took from him 1,000 chariots and 700 horsemen and 20,000 footmen. And David hocked all the chariots, and he hocked all the chariots, horses, but reserved of them for 100 chariots. What reserved them, he hocked. Let's see. You know, we hocked something. All the chariots, horses, but reserved of them for 100 chariots. 5. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor, Hadazir, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men. This is when he said first up here in verse 3. David smote Hadazir. Now down here it tells you how he went about doing it. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadazir. Now you see how this comes back compared to verse 2 and 3? The verse 2 and 3, the Moabites became David's servant and bought gift. Verse 3. David smote also Hadazir, the son of Rehob, king of Zobah, as he went to recover the border of Euphrates. Now, verse 5. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadazir, king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men. This gives you the understanding. He up here just told him what he did, but now he's telling you how and the way that it happened in verse 5. Verse 6. Then David put garrison, just like this. Hadazir, king of Zebah. David slew the Syrians. This is how you study. This is how you get an understanding. Now, guess what? Most people, when they read, they just read straight through. Okay, this is what happened, and this is what happened. But they don't go back and study and see what's really being said. That's the difference with people of today. And that's why the people don't really know the scriptures as they should, because they don't study. 3 gives you the understanding of what happened in a nutshell. Verse 3 gives you the understanding in a nutshell altogether. But then it explains it a little better when you get down to verse 5. Again, verse 5. And when the Syrians of Damascus came to succor Hadazir, the king of Zobah, David slew of the Syrians 22,000 men. Then David put garrison in Syria of Damascus. He put garrisons. Then he just not speak about that up here. I seen garrison a few minutes ago up top. Or was it? I remember seeing it a few minutes ago, but I'll keep it moving. I might have just read it, got down to that, and came back. But I remember seeing it a few minutes ago. But let's keep it moving. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David. There you go again. Servants to David. Moabites became David's servants. The Syrians became David's servants. Servants to David. And brought gifts, and Yah preserved David wherever he went. You see that? Yah preserved David wherever he went. And Yah. And you know something? I know a brother that used to go to the place of the house of Israel where I used to go. And because he has no understanding of the scriptures and of what the Creator's saying, God, why would God do this? Why would he go and kill these people and doing it? His mind is just, because they don't study to understand to know. A lot of people don't study to understand to know. They study to find fault. And a lot of people don't realize where they put themselves. Excuse me. No. So, again, and Yah, this is the end of 6. And Yah preserved David wherever he went. Verse 7. And David took the shields of gold that were in the servants of Hadazir, and brought them to Jerusalem. And from Betha, and from Beorathai, cities of Hadazir, King David took exceedingly much brass. With Toi, Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the hosts of Hadazir. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had smitten all the hosts of Hadazir, then Toi sent Joram, his son, unto King David to salute him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadazir and smitten him. For Hadazir had wars with Toi and Joram, and Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of brass. So I think this is where you get that the not would say the friend of my enemy is the enemy of my what did that say? The enemy of my friend is my enemy. The enemy of my friend is my enemy, or the
It's the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
there you go. Say again, bro.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. You get
There
it?
you
So it's
go.
like, say if me and you is beefing, and a person that beef with you, I'm gonna be friends with them because I have an ally, a
There
common
you go.
ally in the fact that we both don't like you.
That same
So we
person. I
make a
got you, bro.
friendship. You get what I'm saying? It's
I
kind of
got you
like how,
100%. You
all right,
came
all
in
right.
right on time because I was
Yeah.
trying to get it right because I hadn't heard that term in a long time. But you put it
Mm-hmm.
right on point.
Yeah.
You put it right on point, bro. The friend of my enemy is my. There you go. The friend of my enemy is my
No,
friend.
no, no. You saying it wrong. The enemy of my enemy.
Is my friend.
Yeah. So like say you
I
got a
got yeah,
gang,
yeah,
you
yeah. I'm saying it wrong. That's right. Thank
yeah,
you, bro.
yeah.
The
Right,
enemy
right.
of my enemy is my friend. I got you.
Right.
I was saying it wrong, but I'm glad you know what I meant.
Because they not your enemy, they're
Yeah,
your enemy's enemy. So
exactly.
that
And
would
that,
be
as
like
you
a
could go ahead, bro. I'm
right.
listening.
Yeah, so that would be like a friend to you because they both have you as a common enemy.
Right.
You
That's
guys
right.
share a common enemy. You get
That's
what I'm
fact.
saying?
Yep.
That's how
And
they say like
that's what I meant.
that's
That's
how
what I
they
meant
try
by
to
that.
unite the
This is probably
people.
where that came from.
They try to unite the people by saying, "Look, y'all are not each other's enemy. The real enemy is the system."
There you
You get what
go,
I'm saying?
bro.
So we need to stop fighting each other and come at them. That's who we need to. You get what I'm? Well, that's different. That's a little bit different, but
But
kind
no,
of the
you're on
same
point.
concept.
You're on
It's the
point.
same concept, but it's a little different. But yeah,
You're on point, though.
yeah, yeah.
100%.
Mhm.
100%. I appreciate that, G1. See what I'm saying? This is what I mean by us, each one teach one, each one share information. I was saying it, but I wasn't saying it correctly. He came right in and said it doesn't need to be said. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you had it in mind. I knew what your intention, what you were trying to say. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And that's why each one teach one. Because you know what? I was sharing information last week, and I was talking about Ezra in chapter 4, and then Haggai supposed to come in between. Haggai 1 come in between chapter 4 and chapter 5 of Haggai, of Ezra. See, I did it again. And then when I went back and listened to it, I said, dang, I said the names wrong. I meant one thing, but I said it wrong. So I do that sometime. And then I thought about it. I said, well, it might have been meant to be said that way. Because I knew what I was saying. If people listening, they're either going to take it and run with it, or they're going to say, okay, no, he didn't mean that. He meant this. So that's sometimes some things happen for a purpose or certain things happen for a reason. But I'm thankful you said that, bro. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Bam, that's it. But that's why I see where this comes from. Verse 10. And then Toy sent Joram, his son, to King David. Sent Joram, his son, verse 10, that is, unto King David, to salute him and to bless him because he had fought against Hadazir and smitten him. So Hadazir beat him. So for Hadazir had wars with Toi, Toi, and Joram brought with him vessels of silver and vessels of gold and vessels of brass. Verse 11, which also King David did dedicate unto Yah. You see, David didn't say, well, I'm coming against you as well. He just said he brought him, he came in peace, and then he dedicated to the Creator. Which also King David did dedicate unto Yah with the silver and gold that he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued. But let me share some with y'all real quick. I'm glad I'm at this point. When the Creator talked about in chapter 9, talk about the chapter 9 of Daniel. I'm glad I said the whole thing. Daniel chapter 9, when they talk about they cut off the temple, same thing I was just talking about a few minutes ago, between Ezra chapter 4, Haggai 1 goes between that, and then Ezra 5 come back into place. But it all came from Daniel chapter 9 when he said, I understood by books. Then it goes from there all the way. Then it talks about when the temple was cut off. No, when the Messiah was cut off. Messiah was the temple. The temple was the Messiah because the temple was anointed. These vessels here are anointed. When David, it said, which also King David did dedicate unto Yah with the silver and gold that he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued. Now, in Daniel chapter 4 or chapter 5, when Nebuchadnezzar's son came and took all the vessels of the Creator that they took from the son of Hezekiah, when their children went into captivity, they brought all the vessels in. This was after Nebuchadnezzar passed, and then his son, Belshazzar, whatever his name was, in chapter 5, he took all the vessels and he was worshiping gods of silver, gods of gold, gods of wood, stone, and all the other stuff. And they was drinking. And this is when the name came. The name, tiki, you know, when the name came and wrote on the wall. Because Daniel told him, he said, you knew this. He said, when your father went through all the stuff that he went through, even the 7 years when he was out there going through what he was going through, when he came back and got his mind back, might as well say, and you seen your father, and Daniel said, you knew this. Daniel told him, you knew this. And you're going to go and take the Creator's stuff and come out here and have a big party with the Creator's vessels? Nebuchadnezzar never even did that. He respected the Creator stuff, and he respected the Creator through Daniel and through the three I'm just gonna say the three sons of the Creator, the one that they said they call Shadrach, what's his name? What they call him? And Abednego, Abednego. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, or Abednego as they call them. But the whole point is that those 4 men that we know in the book of Daniel was favored of the Creator, and the Nebuchadnezzar favored them 4 throughout the book of Daniel. And for Nebuchadnezzar's son to come and take the vessels, and I'm just saying that because I'm coming across this right now. Not only here, you'll see in Exodus chapter, I think 39 and 40, you'll see it talks about the vessels that they made for the temple, or not the temple, for the tabernacle, and the things that they would do when they do the basins and all the other stuff. All this stuff is of the Creator. And the only one supposed to deal with that is the priest. And this is the reason why I'm telling you about stuff that I know, and I'm just putting it together so people can get a better understanding. And this point right here, when they brought this stuff, it says, verse 11, will also say, which also King David did dedicate unto Yah with the silver and gold, and he had dedicated of all nations which he subdued. So he brought stuff and he dedicated that stuff to the Creator, and this stuff supposed to be for the creators only, which is of the Levites that took care of the temple and the tabernacle and the stuff within. And then that's the reason why that dude that touched the thing last week, when he tried to catch it, Uzziah, when he caught the ark, he lost his life because he wasn't supposed to touch it. So this is where everything is in order. And this is how we can see things for what it is. Verse 12. Of Syria and of Moab. Now, these are the people that's coming of Syria and of Moab, because he subdued these people. And the children of Ammon, and of the Philistines. These are people he subdued. And of Amalekah, which is the Amalekites, and the spoil of Hadazer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. 13. And David got him a name when he returned from smiting of the Syrians in the valley of Salt, being 18,000 men. David got him a name. His name was big. David was growing in the earth. Now, David officers. This is verse 14. David officers. And he put garrisons. Garrisons must be some. Can y'all look that up? Garrisons. That's Garrisons. Garrisons. That means something. Can y'all look that up? baby?
Garrison.
Garrison. Or G1. Garrison. Garrisons. That means something. And he put garrisons in Edom. Gotta find out what garrisons is in the etymology. Can you check that out, G1 or baby?
Military wise, a garrison is like a military base,
Okay, okay.
I would say, but I haven't looked it up, but that's what I know that to be.
Cause you was in the army, right?
I don't not telling anybody that though.
Wasn't you in the military?
Could be, maybe.
I think I have heard of garrison supposed being like a base or something like that. Verse 14. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons. It sounds like
Garrison is protection or defense.
see what I'm saying loud, baby?
The meaning of garrison comes from the old French garrison, meaning protection or defense, which itself is rooted in the Germanic word wargen, meaning to defend.
In the Germanic, mean German?
German, yeah, Germanic.
Germanic word means to defend.
Wargen or meaning to defend.
Okay. So garrisons mean to defend.
Okay.
Sound like bases as
Historically, a garrison was a military post where troops were stationed to defend a location, and the word evolved to refer to the troops themselves or the acting of stationing them.
So they were troops in places in bases. Troops in bases. That's what garrisons are.
Like what Obama done all over Africa. He went out there and so-called sign up with them. 1 second, get it with me.
You say what Obama did? He said he put troops.
He set up every area over in Africa that has the gold and all the minerals that they need. He put a military base in all those places.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's called AFRICOM.
Okay.
Because initially, if anything happens over there, and by the time they would sort of try to do anything about it, it'd take probably about a week or so to get troops together. So now what he did is set up bases all over there now, so that if they open their mouth too loud, boom, you're there, shut them down.
I got you. But like you said, military bases, they put a garrison is a military base set up wherever they have it set up at.
Right.
So they said, and he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons. Now, look at that same Edom is in power today. Edom, we call the Edomites, but I like just say Edom is the system because that what was prophesied to happen. Let me get that real quick since we almost done with verse of chapter 8. In Genesis 27, verse 39 and 40, this is his blessing. Genesis 27, 39 and 40. This is his blessing right here, 39. I'll go from 38 to 40. 38. Genesis 27, verse 38 says, and Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father, 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven, above, from above. 10 is the key. And by thy sword shall thou live. This is how he lived. And then when he got the earth, which is the dominion that's coming up in a few moments, by thy sword is how he lived. He takes everywhere he go. By war is how he lived. And how he lived is by the Roman Empire and the Greeks and the Roman Empire of the day, which is third and fourth generation, and also the Greek and the Romans, which is the third and fourth generation of today, and also by, let me forget my thought, There was something else I was coming after that. The Greeks and the Romans. Oh, and by Revelations. Revelations is where we at today with them. And Revelation 6, verse 7 and 8, the pale horse. This is war. The pale horse by hunger, war, and death. This is Esau's government that we're breaking down now. We're at the end of it now. That's the reason why they're doing the stuff they're doing today. Because they know they have but a short time. Revelation 12:12. And when it says right here, verse 40, Genesis 27:40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, by war shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass. See, I'm going to tell you what I think that serve thy brother is. By thy sword shall thou live, and shall serve thy brother. Now, I believe in the time to come, they're going to serve us because they're going to be our war machine. And the reason I say that is because of Isaiah chapter 60, verse 5. Isaiah 60 and 5. I believe that's what I believe. But also, he's serving us by the things that he's doing to us in the streets. So that go both ways. They've been in when Obama was in power or in office. I ain't seen so many. If it weren't for the internet, we would have knew all the murders and stuff that these the cops, was doing to our people out here in the streets. That was in 2016, 2017, going into 18, and until we got into the judgment, which was in 2020. That was the end of the 400 years, but 2020 was the judgment. But 40 again, Genesis 27 and 40 before we get back to 2 Samuel. And by thy sword, which is by war, shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. The key is, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, which is what they have and had for the last how many since they've been in power, which is the Greeks and the Romans, since they've been in power. And and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, which is of the earth, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Break our yoke from off that. That's why they're in charge now, and they're falling out of power now as we grow in the knowledge that we're coming to know. And the only way to grow out of their system is what they have set up is by putting everybody in servitude by being a beneficiary. Once we start to become the executor, we'll come out of their system and come over them. But this is for those who choose to know the information that they need to know. That's mainly it. So again, over here at this point, we back at 2 Samuel. I'll start back again at 14, because we're going to 14 to 18, and we're going to be done with this in a few moments. Yep. We're going to go from 14 to 18, which is the end of chapter 8. 2 Samuel 8 and 14, again, David officers. And he put garrisons, which we just shared and found out that their bases set up for troops. And he put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom put he garrisons. And all they of Edom became David's servants. They became David's servants. And Yah preserved David wheresoever he went. See that? See, this is the establishment of Israel. He was establishing Israel. And David reigned over all Israel, and David executed judgment and justice unto all his people. His people, you see that? He executed judgment and justice unto all his people. It didn't say all people. And Joab, the son of Zeruiah, the son of Zeruiah was over the host. Joab, son of Zeruiah, was over the host. So he watched everything. Joab watched everything. He watched over everything. He was over the host. And Jehoshaphat, the son of Eliud, Jehoshaphat, the son of Eliud, was recorder. You see, we always had recorders. These are the people where we get this information from. This is the recording of the information. All the prophets had someone to record the stuff that they were saying. All the prophets had people. This is the reason why we have the information that we have, whether it being watered down or not. What's there is for us through what the Creator has given us through them in the first place. And no matter how it's being changed up or twisted, the people of the Creator can see what's going on. 17. And Zodok, the son of Alitub, Alitub, and Zodok, the son of Alitub, and Amalekah, I guess that's the best way I can say it. Milikah, the son of Abathar, were the priests. They were the priests. I guess the high priest, but they were the priests. Because remember, Saul killed all the main priests, and it was one that got away. He had an Edomite kill all the priests. He said, kill the priests of the Lord. I couldn't believe he's killed the priests of the Creator. That's crazy. That man had lost it. Saul, he lost it. And Siriah was the scribe. You see that? So we had priests and you had a scribe and you had recorders. You see that? This is the setting up of the information. And you come to see things in a better light once we study. Verse 18, the last verse. And Benaniah, the son of Jehoiada, was over both the Cherethites and the Philistines. That sounds like Cherethites and the Philistines. That sounds like the Pharisees and Sadducees. It sounds like. I ain't putting them in that place. That's what it just sounds. It remind me of. Cherethites and the Philistines. And David's sons were chief rulers. Say again, baby.
Is it candle bottom?
No. David's sons was chief rulers. His sons was chief rulers. Boy, this is something. Matter of fact, all this need, man, I just wanted to make sure. And David's sons was chief rulers. Boy, this is something. And Joab, these were the people over everything right here. From 16 on down to 18. Certain people over everything with understanding. So, yeah, buddy. So this right here entails what happened, verse 7 and 8. Verse 7 is Yah's covenant with David and also David's prayer in chapter 7. 2 Samuel 7 is Yah's covenant and David's prayer. And then in chapter 8, David is extending the kingdom. He's extending the kingdom. And I'm going to share with y'all again my point of view, and I seen this a long time ago. My point of view at looking at this, and the Creator extended the kingdom after he kicked Israel out of the kingdom, and he scattered us throughout the whole world, whether it's the children of Israel or Judah, Benjamin, whoever, all the children of Israel. He scattered us throughout throughout all kingdoms because of our disobedience. But this is when our kingdom was established, which is the earth. By us being scattered, and I'm just giving people an understanding. Can you understand what I'm saying, baby?
Yeah, right.
You hear me? All right, I just want to see if she understands. But what I'm sharing is this. By the Creator it's kicking Israel all over the earth, and they was dead in the mind. They was dead. They didn't know who they were. Still today, they don't know their land, they don't know their language, they don't know their culture. We are all over the earth, and we've been established all over the earth. How we been established all over the earth? Whatever land you in, you was born in, whether you was made slave or whatever you want to call it. When you was born in that land has an inheritance for you. By that land having inheritance for you, you have substance in that land according to your birth records, social security card, and your ID card. People don't know when you get better, because you'll never understand the Creator in its fullness. But as you grow to know the Creator and know His word, you can see things for what it is. And for us who have come to understand the difference between fiduciary and beneficiary, two different things. Fiduciary, beneficiary. Beneficiary is being taken care of like a child. The fiduciary takes care of the beneficiary. Now you got to understand the fiduciary's role and the beneficiary role. Beneficiary is a live living being who's dead in the mind and don't know who they are. And the beneficiary is also what they call the straw man, which is the estate. So the fiduciary is what we call the trustee and also the executor. Now, when you understand the trustee is the one that's over the trust that has everything concerning the trustee. The executor is the caretaker. The executor is the boss. The executor is the caretaker of, let me put it like this. The live living being has to come alive to step in the seat of the executor. Once the live living being because you got two entities over here. You got a live living being who don't know who he is, which is dead. And that dead live living being is called the straw man, which is the estate. He just don't know who he and what he is. He's been called something not knowing what he is. And I'm giving you a quick rundown where people may not understand. So by the live living being not knowing who he is, he's dead in the mind, learning other culture, learning a whole different way of life, don't know who he is and what he is. He's under the system. Now, when that live living being becomes alive and know who he is, he sits in the executive seat. Now, the other than live living being, it's the live living being has taken the place of the beneficiary, which is the estate, or we could say the straw man. Now the live living being is sitting in the executive office. Now he can take care of the straw man. He is the overseer of the straw man, which is the overseer of the estate. Now the live living being isn't over here anymore. It's only the estate and the straw man now. Straw man and estate is the exact same thing. But the live living being has become alive now to take care of the straw man. And the live living being can take care of certain things according to the trustee. But you also have trustees as well. The trustee is like the wife to the man. That's the one that it just came out. It came out the best way to understanding. Trustee, executor. Executor is over. The executor is the thumbprint. No one has the same thumbprint. So whatever your thumbprint is, this is you. This is you. You're the executor. But you got all these trustees over here helping you out. You got many different types of trustees going into the account, doing things for you if you don't know who you are. So you a hand without a thumb, without a fingerprint, without a thumbprint, that is. That's the best way I can break it down with clear understanding at this point of Yah's covenant to David, which is Yah's covenant to Israel, if you really see it in a bigger form. So, other than that, we're finished with Samuel chapter 7 and chapter 8. Next week, we'll be going into chapter 9. And other than that, I'd just like to share with you that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwelled, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. I'm trying to wonder if I should just go ahead and close out, or if y'all two want to say something about the information that was shared today. We can go into other information shortly. Is there anything you like to say, G1, about what came across today that you may have understood or that you got, or you will pass? G1 going once, G1 going twice. Just want to see if you want to say anything about the information for today. Now, before we get into what you're going to talk about before, what I wanted to hear what you wanted to say, what you learned. I wanted to hear that myself. But Kaz, is there anything you wanted to share about anything you heard in part 1 or part 2 today that struck your mind according to the lesson for today?
Part 2, I was in and out because I haven't dedicated that time as yet, because your time is different from mine, you see, when you start. So mine is kind of like working time now.
I got you.
Okay, but I didn't hear a lot about part 2, but I wanted to say something reference, I think it was last week, yeah. And you're talking about the Hendo in charge of our trust.
You want that to be on recording?
Oh, we can take that off. We can leave that.
Okay. Well, if you don't want to put that to be on recording, that's why I just asked you about for the day, or something you want to talk about according to the witch column. But
no, you mentioned something. I heard something. You're doing a comparison, so I'll have to go back and listen to it, then write it down and speak to you about that again at another time, because I just had a call come in, you see, at the time.
Okay, no problem. That's
You're making a comparison.
We can always talk about it. It's just that on here, this still being recorded at the moment. So I just sometimes I like to get people's understanding about what they got out of this, because if anybody else decide to come and listen to it, they can always hear about, okay, well, I didn't hear that. Well, I didn't understand.
Different points of view.
Huh?
They can hear like different points of view.
There you go. Yeah. That's why I always like to ask G1, because G1 like to bring different points of view when he share information or when he hears something. When we talk about this in particular, last week we was on here for 9 hours. Huh?
I said he's the man.
Who? G1?
G1, he's the man.
Yeah, he come back with pretty good information, like he did today. That was really good. I'm glad he came back with that. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So he said, got me stuck with it now. It's in my mind now. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. But I hadn't heard that in so long, I forgot how it went. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and close everything out, and then we're gonna. Last week we was on for 9 hours from 12 until 9 that night. We wasn't on here because I paused it, but that's how long we was actually on here talking on Zoom, sharing information. And that's good. That's how we come together and we build with each other. But I just can't have it recording for that long, because ain't nobody gonna be on here 9 hours listening to this, even though I would love to. But I like to make sure stuff is quick, simple, and to the point when we're recording. Other than that, I like the fact that we all are socializing and growing in knowledge together when we're here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the benediction. But before that, I always like to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Now we're going to read the benediction and put the blessings upon Israel as the Creator said, and told his sons, told Aaron to tell his sons to do to the children of Israel. And this is the benediction in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, and Yah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put Yah's name, which is his law, upon the children of Israel, and Yah will bless them. I'd like to thank everybody for that prayer. And Shema. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekeva, Vaku Tov V'olam, Va'ed. Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Bless you, Father. Praise you, bless you, and thank you. Bless your people, bless your hosts, bless all of us that's following you and doing your will, and allow us to open and see your word for what it says and for what it does. Your holy word and all these things in your holy name we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you, Father. All right. Now, what we're going to do first is share that if anybody like to get in contact with me in general, if you'd like to get in contact with me, you can call or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. And you can always email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Also, you can get in contact with me now. I'm gonna do it the way I did at the end of part one. If you like to see the short version of the information, which is part one and part two, the short version, which is part one and part two, you can catch that at on YouTube Live. That's YouTube Live, which is Juice Pro 33. That's JUICE PRO 33 all together. And you can also catch part one and part two on Instagram. Instagram is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. That's Lakine underscore the juice. Again, that's LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. And the other platform that you can catch part one and part two on is Facebook. Facebook is Mikael Harris, which is MI'(CHAEL) space HARRIS. That's MI'(CHAEL) space HARRIS. That's my Facebook. Now, if you like to see the full and long version, the full version is also on YouTube, which is Juice Pro 33 under video. You can look under video and you'll see Juice Pro 33, and that's the full version on YouTube. Juice Pro 33 is all together, which is JUICE PRO 33 all together. And the full version is also on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's X, formerly known as Twitter, is also on there under Juice Pro 33 all together, JUICE PRO 33. I'm gonna go this way. So also you can see the full version on patreon.com. That's PATERON, patreon.com/LKHYYM. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM. And also the full version is on rumble.com. /LKHYYM. That's rumble.com/LKHYYM. Now, I will share with you this on the last point, because this is none of the recordings on this one, but if you like to check me out on TikTok, my TikTok is also Lakaim _ the juice, which is at LKHYYM _ THEJUICE. That's one of my TikToks. My other TikTok is Michael the Juice Harris, which is at MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. It's all together. Again, the other TikTok is at MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS. That's my other TikTok. And now, for the platforms, if you like to get on the Zoom or on the platform that we're recording all these to, on Zoom, we're on Sunday nights, or like the night after Sunday, I like to say, at 9 p.m. People call Sunday night, but the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. after Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, we have, it's called Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. That's Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. We're here at 9 p.m. the night after Sunday, that night, before going into 12 o'clock, midnight. And on quote unquote what we call Mondays, which is the second day of the week, but we're in the actual third night of the week. But not to confuse you, Monday nights at 9 p.m., we have Mikael's Knowledge of Truth at 9 p.m. Eastern time, all of it's Eastern time. And then on Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m., at this point in time, at Tuesday evening at 6 p.m., we have Introductory to Sovereign Class of Knowledge, is what I shared with you a little bit of information at the end of part 2. That little bit I just shared with you about the beneficiary, executor, fiduciary, and straw man and live living being and things like that. That information is on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And like I say, if I don't already know you, if you're not already coming in, please contact me on or email me or text me to let me know you're coming in, because we have a lot of trolls coming in, and this information is private. So we don't put that information, Introduction to Solving Class of Knowledge, we don't put that on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. We don't put that there because it's private. And you'll understand the private compared to public if you decide to come and want to be a part of our knowledge and information on that, the Introduction to Sovereign Class of Knowledge. And to be determined would be on our Wednesday nights at 6. That's to be determined. And that's called Freedom Knowledge Class, Introduction Knowledge Class of Knowledge. Not Freedom, the Freedom Sovereign Class of Knowledge. Freedom Sovereign Class of Knowledge, which I call the Gates of Heaven. That's going to be determined, on Wednesdays. But other than that, we're here on the Sabbath day at 12 p.m. Eastern time. On the Sabbath, 12 p.m. Eastern time, we're here at 12 p.m. at it's called Sabbath Assembly of the Righteous. This is the Assembly of the Righteous on the Sabbath at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Other than that, for everybody, I thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing. I'm going to pause Zoom so we can finish our conversation. It's something that my brother was sharing with me that I wanted to hear. But I'm going to pause Zoom so my brother G1 and Cash, y'all can hold up for a minute. I'm going to pause you. Other than that, I thank y'all for y'all time, y'all patience, your listening ear, your seeing now on the full version, and we'll see you again soon. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Peace.